Well, ever since we found out Daredevil was about to return in the MCU, the talk has been Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. But one other big actor coming back is Winston Bethel, who will bring Bullseye to life inside the MCU. Recently, he talked a little bit about what's going on and the time jump between Season 3 of Daredevil and when Born Again kicks off, and how it ties very interestingly to real life. Let's take a couple minutes to talk about what he had to say, what it means for the show, and why this is a pretty smart move for Marvel since they're using the same actors. Well, ever since we found out Charlie Cox and Daredevil were set to return in the MCU, fans have been pretty excited. To be fair, the original show is one of the best things Marvel has ever produced, and although it was part of Marvel Television over on Netflix, the fandom for the show has endured. Now, it's been over 5 years since Daredevil came to life. And many people have pointed out, with all the same returning cast and crew, well, quite honestly, some of these actors look a bit different. And it sounds like to me that that's going to play right into the story. Now, over this past weekend, Winston Bethel, who actually played Bullseye in Season 3 of Daredevil, sat in on a panel at Fan Expo San Francisco. Now, we left off Benjamin Poindexter at the end of that season about to get some powers, and the look in his eye pretty much told us what was going to happen, and it sounds like the characters had a lot of time to get used to his new life. Now, at that convention, he took some time to talk to Collider, and pretty much clarified that 5-year time break between the Season 3 and the upcoming season of Born Again is exactly translated in the show. This is what he had to say. So there's kind of like this funny thing stepping back after 5 years where Born Again will pick up with that amount of time having transpired. The show doesn't pick up the day after we last saw it. It picks up 5 years later. So in theory, these are characters who have all lived 5 years of life and all the twists and turns that you take in the meantime. So whether or not even those stories are necessary on screen, there's just a little bit of extra life in there, which I think is, as an actor, it gives you an opportunity to bring whatever your own journey has been in that time, and they get sort of a little longer in the tooth. Now, he went on to talk about how all the actors now have a few more gray hairs and a few more wrinkles. And honestly, with Daredevil, this plays in pretty nicely. The continuation from the original show has always been something fans have leaned into, and quite often when it comes to actors aging on screen, it's something that's ignored. With this being a street-level, more grounded type show originally, and it seems like they're leaning into that a bit in the new version, well, age should be a factor, and as a person getting older, I kind of like they're incorporating this into the show. Now, we've seen a lot of pictures of Winston Bethel on set as Ben Poindexter, and it seems like to me, he might actually be putting an end to one of the primary characters in the series. It's unclear at this point how big of a villain he's going to be throughout the show, but I highly suspect he'll be a big part of the first couple of episodes, but I believe the death of this particular character he might be responsible for, combined with the Muse, might bring about that crossing of mutual paths with Wilson Fisk and Matt Murdock. And although his character might not appear throughout the series, I think he's definitely going to be influencing it. If Bullseye makes it out alive, we don't know yet, but we've only got about 90 days to wait, so we're just going to have to be patient. What do you guys think? Do you like the idea of real-life time passing definitely being reflected in the show? And has Daredevil always felt like one of those characters that real-life factors, like getting older, have always played into the comics? Honestly, I kind of do. Now, before you take off, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, ring that bell for all the updates, and make sure you get every notification because we do daily Marvel and DC content and we don't want you to miss any news.